pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're having fireworks, what do we think?
God bless them.
Before we get started with the business part of the meeting, we have a couple of people that would like to address the board. First, Deb Matthew, who is a member of the 250th Anniversary Commission. Come on up.
Three simple questions. We've already ordered and have in our possession 250 commemorative coins, so people will buy. Oh, you can't put them in this?
Is there a mic?
Yeah, but it just goes to the
It's okay.
thing.
Anyway, we have coins. They're already in our possession. We would like to know if the board could come up with a certificate of authenticity that each coin will have. Is that something the town of Granby would like to do, or is that something you'd like to leave to us? We will do it.
If you want to, if you create the certificate of authenticity, we'd be glad to sign it.
Okay. So we'll do it then. Okay. Flag. We have someone in town, I'm sorry, I don't know the name, that has come to our attention. They would like to design and sew a flag for the commemorative next year. The State House has agreed to fly it for a day.
Oh, nice.
So again, is this something that you will need to see before also? So once it's created, we present it to the...
Or even a design of what it's gonna look like,
Whatever
or,
it's going to look like,
Yeah.
and
I'm sure it'll be fine, but if it,
checks. That's very good.
yeah, we'd want to make sure that
Thank you.
wasn't anything like too crazy.
Third and final, the golden cane, which I believe hasn't been presented for a while. We would like to present it, or have the town of Granby present it to the oldest citizen next year on the celebration of the 250th birthday. Is that something the Selectboard would like to do? The town of Granby?
Yes,
Great.
we'll do
So
it.
we have a yes on that. Okay, so let's do that. That was that. Simple.
That's
So
pretty easy.
just keep it simple. So we do our certificate, create one, present it to you, the flag draft, and how they're going to do it, present it to you, and then we'll go ahead.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next we have Roland and Calling the Point. Couple more days and you'll be out.
Yes, and thank goodness because it's so hot.
Yes, today was my last day and I have to say it was thoroughly disgusting.
Well, you know what our building's like,
Yeah.
and I can only open one window in my room. We came to see you. I actually have copies of what documentation. Oh, thank you. This was, we contacted the building inspector, and he said to put our, complaint in writing. So this is what was mailed to him. Our neighbor regraded his backyard, and as a result, water is now coming down onto our line and causing damage. So the building inspector did not reply in writing the first time we approached him. He left a message saying he didn't see any damage. But the only time we saw the building inspector, we were both home. He drove down the end of our street, turned around, and drove back out. He did not get out of his vehicle. He did not talk to us to find out where exactly the damage was we were referring in this letter. And then a few days later, we got a phone call, and he said that he didn't see any damage and he wasn't going to take any action at that time. I also gave you a copy of the bylaw that we were referencing in that letter on the second page. So we got more rain, and so then I sent an email. It's dated here June 2nd, and I'm not going to read it to you. I mean, you can read it for yourself.
Yep.
And these are the pictures that I referenced in the email that I sent him. I only printed one because it uses a lot of ink. I and I tried to photocopy.
Will we be able to keep those pictures? Okay.
I tried to photocopy them, but it just doesn't look the same when it's in black and white. And then the final copy that you have is the response. He did respond to my email in an email, and he sent a hard copy of the letter also, and that's the final page you have in your packet I gave you. And he states that he saw nothing that would indicate that your neighbor is deliberately diverting rainwater onto your property. Well, the whole point of him regrading was to get rid of the water behind his garage. So I'm not saying he deliberately tried to divert it onto our property, but he deliberately regraded to, you know, fix his water problem, and in so doing, it's now running across our lawn. And he also states that it appears that the rainwater is following its natural course downhill. Well, the rainwater is following the course that was set for it upon his regrading project. I mean, the rainwater is not choosing to run that way on its own. I mean, it's going that way because that's the way it's directed to go. And this email that he sent dated June 5th, and he says that he did another inspection of the property. We have no knowledge that he actually ever got out of a vehicle and walked the property. He has never spoken to us. And this picture I took on June 6th, the day after he sent me the email. And the damage is visible to us.
Is this all the same area?
It's all the same spot.
And the tree that you see right there with the mulch around, there's enough water to where it runs around that tree and takes the mulch and runs it down into the lawn. I have a video here if you want to, the first one, the first two videos really show, the first video shows the water running down and it shows his backyard. He regraded approximately about 500 to 600 feet of his backyard with a rain gutter coming down. And I could probably put it right in the middle here if you want to see it.
Is this during heavy rain? Is it during like a normal
Every
rain?
time we get
Once the
rain,
ground gets wet,
You can kind of
then the water runs.
and the channel's already made, so every time it rains, it's running down the exact same spot over and over and over again. And that's why in my email to him, I said, you know, we were hoping to avoid, you know, further damage, but because it's been happening over and over again, that's where the water goes every single time it
Was that
rains.
the day it was hailing out in the heavy rain?
The first one.
With this particular video, look if there's hail, or was that just rain?
I'm not, that might have
Might
been,
have been.
but
when
the
he-
channel was already there.
When he first regraded it, I approached him and I said, look, I says, you got everything running down onto me, and I got sworn at, so. And this is his backyard, so he's got approximately 500-600 feet that he lowered here. He lowered the corner here, because he's got a garage door right here.
Yeah.
He lowered the corner here, and now the garage is approximately 30 feet long this way, and it all comes down this way, so by him lowering the corner, see, the water was all trapped where that rain gutter is right there, because it was higher here. But he regraded everything here, and now everything's coming down here.
Where's your property line out in this picture?
Our property line's down in here. It's his building, and his building is somewhere approximately about 20 feet off the property line.
So right now, you're flooded.
Yeah, the water's running down right now.
And we don't bother.
And this is where it runs down, and there's the mulch going into the lawn, and it happens every time
it
you get-
rains.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, even if you know, if it's not a hard rain, once the ground gets saturated, there's no, where it's soaked up enough,
yeah, yeah.
There's
that
no,
now
that's
the
where
water's
it
just
goes.
flowing down our lawn. And
And because the channel's already created, that's where it keeps going.
so we don't understand why the building inspector is not enforcing the laws.
This here is your property, obviously, right?
Yep.
So is the channel right here? I'm trying to figure out how the water's coming
It's
down.
like goes up here.
Well, it's coming down, so is this a low point in the,
With the tree is the low point. That tree is the lower point. So it's all starting back here and running.
so it's going down
Down.
this way?
He
Yeah,
has
so
a low point on his side too. It's just the way the
what I'm
regrading
asking,
was tapered.
This is the low point, so it's coming this way, 'cause is this the mulch that came from
It
around the
starts,
No, that's.
It starts
this-
from
that-
you
The bottom
and
of the
heads
page is the
down.
high point,
Okay.
and it runs down.
tree? So this is all your property?
yes.
Okay. So your property goes in like this.
Well, his comes down. Our property we haven't changed our grade on our property for quite some time.
Well, it's
And
been
so
over
his
20
property
years.
all comes down onto ours.
The way it's graded. Now, it wasn't that way until October when
What
he changed the
he
grade.
What he added last fall was everything from behind his garage now, which,
So his grade got raised, which in effect is now it's running onto ours because he didn't taper it or swale it so that it would
Yeah.
stay on his side of the property line.
Okay. I think ordinarily what happened is our town administrator will meet with the building inspector, and
Well, the building inspector is here right now. I'm just curious, under 9.12, was any plan submitted to the building official for
I
planning or zoning?
I
I'm not-
can't answer that,
I'm
yeah.
asking,
it would be
I'm gonna ask
Mr. Reno.
Mr.
Oh,
Lino.
okay.
Is that under what they're saying is zoning?
Here, let me show you what it says, okay? 9.12,
This isn't our zoning, so,
this isn't ours?
no,
Whose is it?
I don't know.
I got it off the Granby Town website.
It's not in our zoning talk, so. Normally though, if there was a grade change when it's associated with a construction project,
Yeah.
it would be a separate permit.
It would be a separate
No,
permit?
it wouldn't be a separate.
Wouldn't be all part of the same thing? Now, would the planning board have to approve it if they're planning on doing anything for a single residence? No. Okay, so planning wouldn't, no.
I didn't bring my laptop where I have it saved. It is a Granby thing.
Up the neighbor's driveway, they said there's no problem for you to drive up there, because that's actually closer to where the
The,
situation is.
the neighbor who did the,
neighbor
who
that
did the
built
grading,
the
did the grading, okay.
I think the backyard, it's still puddles in his backyard, but eventually, the neighbor's house's yard is higher than their yard. Does go down, the line you're seeing is the low point between both yards, which to me is where water is supposed to go.
But this wasn't
I
an
don't
issue.
see any pipes or hoses that are creating the water. It appears to me that it's rainwater. So the neighbor's not pumping it onto their yard.
No, we never said
So,
that.
Other than it raining, that's the only place I can think where the water's coming
Okay.
from.
Prior to the regrading,
prior to last fall, it wasn't a problem.
where did the water go at that point? I'm just curious.
It was staying in his backyard.
It was staying in the backyard?
Yep.
Okay. But you're saying when he put the garage up that it was flooding his garage?
It was staying in his backyard.
It was staying behind the garage.
Yep.
It was creating a puddle behind his garage as a result
Okay.
of his project. And in
Okay.
order to alleviate that problem, he regraded his property. So now the water's not staying behind his garage anymore. And the way it was regraded, it's tapered towards our property. So now it's coming onto our property.
I'm just
Yep.
trying to understand
No,
what you're,
that's
where
fine.
where you're going with this, that's all, okay. I think number one, I'm gonna have to look and see, I'm not saying you're lying. but
Mm-hmm. Oh, no.
I would like to look at look at the zoning bylaws.
Yep.
And see if this is exactly what it says, before we move forward with this. Let me ask you this question, and I probably know what your answer is gonna be. What would you like to see for a resolution?
Well, I'd like him to fix the grading issue so that the water stays on his side of the property line. Just fix that area so it doesn't run down onto ours, raise his grade a little bit, or whatever, swale it, whatever he
He has
needs to
approximately
do.
20 feet to swale it in the middle to where it can stay on his own side of the property line instead of damaging my property
Between your property line and his
And,
and his garage.
garage? Okay.
right.
Do you want to discuss it tomorrow or whatever, or?
You could, but you could create a pond back there, but it's eventually gonna overflow onto the property. I mean, you could build a dam and divert it into the kitchen. Water is gonna flow downhill, no matter how big of a wall you build. I'm assuming it always flew that way. Maybe
It
the
didn't.
neighbor has less water in his backyard now, but eventually the water was gonna flow that way anyways. I don't see how you could build a culvert or canal that would make any difference than what's there now. I'm sure maybe you agree that not all the water in your yard is from him.
It didn't do that at all until he regraded
But again, it's
the
not
yard.
all his water, it's some of your water.
Well, obviously,
No.
when it rains.
When it's raining, I went there and took videos, and all the water's coming directly from his backyard into our yard.
And no water is falling onto your yard when it rains?
Well, obviously it's falling out of their yards,
Obviously it is.
but it's not.
It's not
that's a
being
different-
channeled.
That's a different issue. I think we don't want to get too deep into the weeds here. I think we want to, I think you need to meet with Chris tomorrow and figure things out, and we'll get back to the points.
And I can show you where I found this on the Granby website.
Sure.
I don't,
No, I mean, if
Okay.
you can't find it, it was really difficult to find. It took me a while
Yeah.
to find this.
And then
So, to save you some time.
either.
oh, I'm gonna be looking at the actual zoning bylaws that I have a
Okay.
hard copy here.
Either-
That's,
Oh,
that's,
okay,
that's what
okay.
I'm gonna be
Yeah,
looking at,
Online,
okay?
it's a little more difficult.
And either
I'm sure
Chris
it
or Mr. Reno will get back to you.
Okay,
And if not, call the office and I'll call
okay.
you.
All right, thank you for your
If
time.
need be, are you home in case I need to go out there and sort of walk it with Mr. Marino?
I get home about 3:30. I teach at West Street, so after Thursday, I will be home.
Is this an immediate thing, or can we deal
Oh,
with
no,
it next week
it's
if
been.
need be?
Oh, yeah, this
That's
is
fine.
fine. It's been happening since like last
We just go
October,
up
so.
during the day and just walk.
Sure, I have no problem with that.
But what I'm just saying is, if Mr. and Mrs. Lapointe is home, it'd probably be better if we go while they're home.
Okay,
So,
sure.
I don't want to sneak in on your property and sneak out.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
But the problem didn't exist until he regraded the property.
It's not a unheard of problem, but that way.
Right.
I've dealt with it on more than one occasion, so.
Right, which I assume is
Not on your
why,
property, but on other somebody
right,
else's, so.
right. Which I assume is why this provision was made, so that there would be a remedy. All right, thank you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to make a photo of this, and then I'll give it back to you. I think we're going to need. Okay, thanks, Steve.
All right, Jay Joyce. Thanks, Steve.
So when it comes to this,
We can postpone it until you've had a chance to look at the.
Hello, guys.
Okay, so you gotta hurry, because we're trying to get out of here before it rains.
You're too late.
I'll
You're too late.
I'll let you borrow my hat, Mark.
I don't need it. I don't even have to worry about my hair. You actually have to worry about yours.
Yeah.
how's Mr. Joyce this evening?
Oh, he's always good. Why be bad? Look. One point of information that the committee has come up with from the site grant.gov, which handles mostly all federal grants, and once in a while there's a state grant posted there. They did give us some insight, whereas I know you're well aware of our budget and the state's budget runs from 1 July through 30 June. The federal budget runs from 1 October through 30 November. They said if you are going to budget to buy something, you can do it at any time of the year, but you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck between the January 1st and March 31st, because that's when all their grants are generally posted. So if anything you want to do, like electric vehicles or anything, that has a grant on it, you will get more for your money if you purchase it between 1 January and 31 March. That's all I'm saying. As far as what I have to tell you tonight, we have to discuss Bales Energy, the level 2 audit.
That's not me, that's BALE, just so everybody knows.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be blamed for it.
I have enough problems with energy as it is.
Unfortunately, Mr. Bales is in the hospital.
Okay?
So that's bringing our energy audits into an issue as far as contract performance time. The one for the 5 buildings has already overdue. Talking with Mr. Martin here, informing him, since we don't really need that data until 1 December to prepare for the 2018 Green Community Grant, we sent an email to Mr. Bales' company, and we propose that we extend his period of performance into 31 August, so he gets better. So, that's out there so you guys know. And we just did get an answer about an hour ago that he accepted that.
All right, good.
But that leads us into the junior, senior high school, because that's a separate contract. He is going to be unable to perform that contract. So he is proposing to give the town their money back for that contract. But that leaves that particular building not under contract to have it done, so we can meet our deadline of 1 December to get ready for 2018. What I have here is a new grant. I got one particular one for you, Chris, right here.
I already have this, don't I?
I don't know if you have it or not.
Yeah, we already made copies, Jay.
Oh, you already, okay, then I'll just
thanks.
read off of mine then.
Here, give it to Walter. Walter always likes paper.
Sure. Here you go, Walt. Okay, basically, this is a new grant that's come out that what we can do through Pioneer Valley Planning Commission, they will hire a Department of Energy auditor for us and do that level 2 audit of the junior, senior high school, which we're now missing, and at no cost to the town. So the money back from Bales Energy can be put back in the Green Community Fund, which will bring that account up to about $40,000. And by you gentlemen agreeing to do this, Pioneer Valley Planning Commission will do the same audit that he was gonna do, but this time we don't gotta pay for it.
I like that even better.
I figured you would. But I still need your John Henry on it, if you guys agree on it, to have them do it and to keep you up to date.
Can I interrupt you 1 second,
You
Jay?
can interrupt me anytime you want.
Pioneer Valley Planning Commission will be conducting the audit?
No, they are going to put an RFP out for us and 3 other towns.
Okay, because I thought you said that they were going to conduct the audit.
No,
So
they were
that's why-
going, okay,
that's why I wanted
if
to
I did, I
clarify.
misspoke. They are going to do the RFP to hire a Department of Energy Resource, Energy Certified Auditor for not only our town, but for Chesterfield, Middlefield, and Chester, which is stated in the narrative. So they are acting as an agent for us to do the RFP process. And you saw, Chris, I believe, the email I sent to them, that the RFP for our town has to come to you before it is published for your review. I didn't know if you got the chance to read it or not yet, but
Not yet, but yeah, I did see your
you
email.
you told me to request that, and they have it in writing.
Okay.
And the only request that Pioneer Valley has is if we agree to do this, that after you sign it, we email a copy of the signature page to Ashley Eaton, and then we can follow up the written page on regular mail so Tim can sign it down there. This way she can get started, because it's on a first-come, first-served basis.
Okay.
And we want to make sure that we're in on it. And I have one here, if you want to sign this one, Mark, it's up to you guys. And that's all blank. It's not stapled like the other ones.
Anybody want to make a motion to authorize me to, or do you want to do this? Chief Executive Officer is more your style.
By right, the Chief Executive Officer is the Chairman of the Board of Selectmen.
Okay, you know, it makes me feel really important to sign my name here. Somebody want to make,
I'll make a motion that you sign this grant application, municipal energy technician.
Meta grant.
Meta grant. Second?
You don't happen to have 2 copies of an unstapled page?
Only one copy of an unstapled one, which I just gave to Mark.
'Cause I'd rather get something back from them with original signature. Can you just sign 2 copies?
Signed 2 copies, what he said.
all those in favor?
I just like having an original signature on it.
That's perfectly fine. I only brought one copy with me unstapled, and I didn't know Kathy was gonna have the other ones for them. I went upstairs to get some for our committee, and I brought them back from them over here. I must have miscommunicated with her.
I have to thank you and the energy committee.
And you want this, or?
Hey, you're doing the best we can.
Jay, are you going to send it, or you want us to send that out to
No,
them?
here's,
It's entirely up to you. I can scan it and send it to Ashley tonight, or Kathy can do it. It doesn't matter to me, you know.
What is your preference?
You want it, Kathy? You got it. She's waving her hand, so give it to Kathy.
So,
I have no problem.
Give me
She
the two
knows that.
signed copies,
He's
please.
writing on the back.
Actually,
That's
Chris-
okay.
Chris
Just
wants
give
it
me-
back now.
Just give me both signed copies.
I think it's like a kid's gimmick or
Okay,
something like that.
thank you.
Well, it's probably some of my chicken scratch in the back. If I'm reading something, sometimes I write in the back, like that one there.
No, sir.
Bob says how great a person I am, thanks.
I forget what I actually wrote in the back, to be honest with you.
Nothing of interest really, it said something about an invoice and.
Oh, it was probably the BL's invoice when I was doing the amount of money we're gonna
Yeah.
get back and stuff like that. Actually, for the record, we're getting back, I have it in this one, if you wanna know exactly. Senior Center, Library, Junior, Senior High School, this is the one you signed, Mark. We're gonna get back $11,990 to be exact, is what we're gonna get back.
That's a good amount.
Yep. That was for the one building, and that'll put us back on track for the 2018 Green Community Grant for funding.
We wanted a solar powered motorcycle for Sergeant Steve Marion for the Granby Police Department. I don't know if you guys can work that.
I haven't seen these solar-powered motorcycles, but I have seen solar-powered vehicles.
No, we're gonna get him a smart vehicle.
Oh, smart.
Smart
vehicle.
car.
Smart vehicle for a smart person.
Good, no more mistakes. No more mistakes by the Granby Police Department.
Okay, the second part that I have here to discuss with you is now that we're getting all this money back, we need to spend it. We have now $40,000 is what we have in the Green Community Grant.
Don't let the school committee know.
The committee still thinks it's a viable project to go at the safety complex, solar, but we're $20,000 short because we spent that other money on the 5 buildings, level 2 audits.
So come again, what is it?
Okay, if you want to still do the safety complex solar, the 15 kW, we're $20,000 short. Because it costs $60,000 to do it. Right now, we only have $40,000 in the bank. The only way we could do that is if you guys had a special public meeting or hearing or something and appropriate us another $20,000. And that would be basically to do that.
I thought Parks was telling us no on that.
The park, I was gonna tell you, the Parks Department, as far as they're concerned, they don't want any solar near their building at all. Because they think, basically, seeing solar arrays in a veterans park doesn't look good. But again, we're your advisory committee.
Yeah.
We give you a recommendation, you guys decide what you want to do.
Can, have you checked out Cooley Field over on Burnett Road, or Burnett Street?
We're afraid when we went and looked over there, if you put the solar 15K array there,
Yeah.
the kids are gonna damage it because it's not secure. And the main reason for the 15K array was not to enter the grid, it was to enter the building.
Okay,
That was the main reason. The grid you can enter anywhere,
all right.
but if you're not going to enter the building, we don't see any reason on even going forth with the solar project, to be honest with you.
Okay.
What we would do is give you another choice.
An upside down car?
It should turn around.
No, we have your startup screen.
Well, I'm sorry.
I would have taken an upside down car.
Thank you anyways.
Oh, okay.
Actually, what it is
I got it right here.
to replace the building inspector's vehicle
Yep.
with
Oh.
a 100% electric vehicle.
All right, I say we go for it.
This
That and a charging station.
And a charging station, would that be at the library or something, or somewhere else?
will be right
That
here.
would be here.
Oh, cool.
So this is where he parks the vehicle.
I like that idea myself. It would be,
Based on a grant?
It's based on using green community money we have and grant money from the state. Right now, as you know, this is the end of the fiscal year for the state. The only money they have left that we can get for grant is called a workplace charging unit, which we could get a dual post, be one pedestal with 2 plug-ins. What we would propose on the far side of the building over there, where the one handicap parking is, the next 2 spots over, to keep it as close to the building as possible, put the pedestal right there, pointing to the 2 there. and that way they could do a short run into the building here to tap into the energy, so the building inspector could charge that vehicle, and then you'd have the capability of charging a second vehicle simultaneously if you had chose.
Okay.
And again, we're looking at the workplace grant. So it'd be basically for employees of the town. It wouldn't be advertised on the network, so anybody would know that it's there. And the electricity being used in it will be funded by the town. A couple of different things. Right now, according to what we looked into, the committee looked into Belize, Central Chevrolet, and the other ones in this area, there's 22 of these vehicles of 2017 left out there. When we look at the comp buys for the state, they said they would, state, I'm trying to remember the dealer's name, begins with an M. Anyways, his price was $34,567 for the vehicle. If you go to MSRP for an LT model, which is the lower end, which is the one we recommend, not the premier end, depending on what options are installed in them, they go over $40,000. The charging stations themselves, I have some information here for that for you. What'd I do with that? I must have, charging station, did I get, yeah, here's the electric vehicle. They have different ones on the pedestal. I must have put it out of sequence here, or I put it in the wrong envelope that we were talking over there. Just my luck. I looked like a fool on national TV trying to find a piece of paper.
That's all right, it's not that national.
Okay. But anyways, bottom line is, that there is a graph that shows the people at DEP are recommending a level 2 charger. The difference is a level 2 charger uses 240 volts of electricity to charge the vehicle. This particular vehicle, on a full charge, is supposed to get 238 miles to it. I asked the building inspector on how much he uses his vehicle. He says last month he used it 254 miles because he fills it up once a month. So this would more than meet his needs, as well as other town employees could use it, whatever the town administrator and you guys decide. When we go through and do the budgeting for this, we know we have 40,000 in the green community account. We know there are some discounts out there. To what degree the final price will be, we're not sure of yet. If there's any money left over in the green community grant, which we have to have a zero balance by 1 December, the committee is proposing a second charging unit be installed at the new library if there's funding for that.
Okay.
Since that's a lead building.
Yep.
And what we would do, because we know there's no conduit up there, we would recommend where the 2 energy fuel efficient signs are for the 2 parking spots, we move them on over to where the grass is, so they don't have to dig up the asphalt
Yep.
and the curbing. They go through the grass, get it. As long as DigSafe comes out, marks it, and there's nothing buried there we don't know about. So the main thing for us, for this particular part, is we need to spend that money by 1 December and have everything installed and inspected. Now, I have talked with the DPW in Northampton, Amherst, West Springfield. For the installation, we can get a company called Down to Earth, which is recommended and does it for the West Springfield DPW. They charge $70 per hour to do it. Again, so we don't have all the exact figures in yet, because we don't know how many hours it would cost to put in this charging station. We do know if we go with the workplace grant, the state pays for half of the charging unit. That's where your grant part comes into it, in addition to the other grant I gave you already. So if you want to give Chris permission to help us address the spending the balance down to zero, with the secondary going to the new library, if there's any money at all left over. if there's no, because I don't want to come back here again to you and say, hey, guess what? We got $600 more we need to spend. We don't need to waste your time with that.
It's a lot of weather stripping.
Yeah. But we thought that would be a viable second option to do up there.
I like it. What do you think, Chris?
If there's no money left over, we're only going to do it here. What do you want?
I just have to see where the underground connection would be made to the building, that's all.
Okay.
And that's in both
I'm not
buildings.
familiar with the library enough to be able to look at it.
Yeah.
How long of a run it would be to get to where the box is.
And would it make any sense to have one as an alternative at
Highway?
the school?
The school, we're supposed to have
Yep.
conduit put in
Yeah.
under that new parking lot for a charging station.
That's right.
And I was gonna wait until, because they haven't identified the exact spot for those vehicles to be parking in. So I can't really, I don't wanna buy something if we don't know what's going on at this point in time.
There is also, as one other alternative, we could do a wall mounting station at the highway department, if that is the future car gonna be, ever gonna go there. I'm just looking for buildings that we could spend the money on and get something out.
We have enough issues with traffic up at the highway, I don't wanna start.
Okay, that's fine with me. I'm just throwing it out there and see what sticks. Trying to see where we can spend the money
That one
at.
didn't stick at all, went on Teflon.
That's fine with me, but we're just trying to give you all we got, because we need to spend that money to be eligible for the next grant. So, any things, now the file on this, I couldn't get you any hard copy brochures, because there's no more left. And the one soft copy that I have in here is too large to email.
That's all right.
So that's why I brought this, in case somebody wants a copy of it.
No, it just, as long as Chris likes it, he probably will want one for his own personal use, so.
Oh, yeah, right. Sure.
But it would be a viable project, and we would be saving some fuel. As you remember, from 2011 to 2016, the town only saved 3%, 3% reduction in energy, and we're supposed to save 20% over 5 years. So that's why we're looking for it.
Sounds good.
Okay? That takes care of us as far as I'm concerned.
Excellent. Thanks, Jay.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
Yep. Glenn, you want to test drive it over to the police station?
Back and forth.
All right. Accept departmental reports. Want to make a motion on that? or-
Departmental reports, I make a motion that we accept departmental reports.
All's in favor? Aye.
Okay, the next one, you have 3 maintenance warrants, number 75, in the amount of $277,248.81. That's a accounts bill paying warrant. Warrant number 76 dated June 16th is for $397,252.71 is your payroll warrant. Warrant number 77 is for $1,040,069.63. That is a bill paying warrant, and basically that went up because we are now starting to pay bills for the construction of the new building. So those will start going big time. Under new business, you have a common vic for Rusty's Country Store located at 102 New Ludlow Road, Granby, Mass. Motion to accept?
Oh, motion to accept. Said Town Grant place only expired.
The common vics or the maintenance one?
The common, did you already approve this maintenance?
No.
Okay.
So a motion on the common, on the maintenance warrant, fiscal 17, 75 through 77.
I make a motion to accept. Approved maintenance warrant, FY 17, numbers 75, 76, and 77.
All in favor? Aye. Motion on the common vic.
Accept. Certify Rusty's Country Store, 102 New Ludlow Road, Green, Mass. Make a motion to accept.
All in favor? Aye. Oh, all right, override vote, Chris?
Okay, I just want to remind everybody that we do have a upcoming Proposition 2.5 override vote scheduled for June 26th from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the Granby Junior Senior High School. And the question will be, shall the town of Granby be allowed to assess an additional $296,799 in real estate and personal property taxes for the purpose of funding the school department for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2017. And for passage, it would require a simple majority of those voting on that day.
All right.
Motion to accept, override vote.
Didn't already do that.
We've already signed
Oh,
it, yeah.
already signed, yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Okay,
Hampshire County bids.
Okay, this is the annual acceptance of the bids put out by Hampshire County. We have bid number 1143. This bid is effective July 1, 2017 through June 30th, 2018. We have for hot mix asphalt in place to Lane Construction, $55.60 per ton. For picked up price, Lane Construction, this is for hot mix asphalt also, picked up price, Lane Construction, $60 a ton. For hot in place asphalt recycling, we have option A, without maintenance and protection of traffic, $4.60 a square yard to Highway Rehabilitation Corp. Option B, with maintenance and protection of traffic to Highway Rehabilitation Corp. for $4.78 per square yard. We have for stone seal, all states asphalt, $4.45 per square yard. For milling of roads, for Lane Construction per square yard, for hauling away and legal disposal of plain material off-site. Material is the property of the contractor, $1.05 per square yard. Hauling of the material to a location within town limits as determined by the highway superintendent. Material remains the property of the town, $1.25 per square yard. Loading of plain material onto dump trucks provided by the town will bring the material to a place of its choosing. Material remains property of the town, $1 per square yard. Full depth reclamation, price per square yard. Murray, 77.9 cents per square yard. That's all under bid number 1143. Need a motion to accept the bids as read?
I make a motion to accept the motions as read for Hampshire Purchasing Cooperative.
Yep, then I have the next one that we'll go through.
The bid number?
It's bid number 1143.
Okay, I'll second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Then we also have Hampshire County Purchasing bid number 1142.
This is a good one.
Okay, this is for cold patch, picked up, price per ton, Lane, $115 per ton for high performance cold patch. For stone delivered, trap rock, 3/4 inch, Ondrick, $14.75 per ton. Trap rock, 1.5 inch, picked up or delivered, Ondrick, $14.45 per ton. Trap rock, rip rock, gravel, Ondrick, $12 a ton. That's delivered. Picked up prices. Washed winter sand, Delta, $8.95 a ton. Unwashed winter sand, Delta, $8.95 per ton. minus 6-inch minus trap rock from Meehan, $11 a ton. SRG from Meehan, $7.70 per ton. And that's all we have under Hampshire County bid number 1142.
I make a motion that we accept the Hampshire Council purchasing coal patch, bid number 1142.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Also, the board has a list of recommendations for appointments to our committees effective July 1, 2017. I'd like the board to be able to look at this, and we'll address it at our next meeting.
All right, sounds good.
Okay. And we also have another piece of business. We have a piece of equipment that the police department is asking be declared surplus property. Hopefully, the police chief can answer a little more on it.
It's not named Steve Marion, is it?
No, it's not named Steve Marion. It's an ultrasonic gun cleaning system that they purchased a number of years ago that they never use anymore. Basically, he would like to sell it. You're going to put it on what, municipal bid first? And he'd like to be able to utilize the funds to purchase another patrol rifle. Even though I don't know why they need two rifles, one should be enough, but.
All right.
So the board needs to declare the L&R Q650H Quantrex ultrasonic cleaner as surplus property and authorize the police chief to sell it with the use of the funds to go towards another patrol rifle.
Okay. Motion?
Make a motion,
You get really sick of it, just say so moved.
so moved. That's how I look at it.
Chief, do you have any comments on it, or?
No, I think that when it was purchased, the thought process was that we would get a lot of use out of it. We found out after we used it a couple times that the setup and use of it took a lot longer than we'd hoped and didn't deliver exactly what we would have liked it to. So we went back to the traditional method.
So you're gonna go like subsonic?
What's that?
You're gonna go like just sonic?
Yeah, no, more manual.
You know, as soon as you sell it, you're gonna need it.
Yeah.
All right. All's in favor?
Aye.
And we do have a rental scheduled for Dufrane Park. It is a graduation party on July 4th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. No liquor, and it should be a maximum of 100 people. And then the final topic I have is we've been having a resident out on Forge Pond, I believe it is number 2, who has been complaining about the condition of the road. David has maintained it so that emergency vehicles can go through. However, in order for us to be able to make temporary repairs on private ways, we need a bylaw in accordance with Chapter 40, Section 6N. And do you wish us to forward this to the Bylaw Review Committee for consideration for the bylaws for the town of Granby?
Definitely send it forward to the bylaws committee. I don't think they have enough to do.
Okay, and I just want to let you know that the resident who contacted David wasn't happy with his answer, so he may be contacting board members or myself.
Okay.
And just so you're well aware of what.
Isn't that a private way?
It is a private way. That's why we're referencing this here.
Okay.
He feels that it's not, that the potholes aren't being taken up in a proper manner to his liking. So,
That probably wouldn't even meet the criteria for a public road, right?
no, they would probably have to do a lot of betterments on it and some repairs. And I believe it has to go to the planning board for acceptance of a public way. So he would have to meet their criteria along with the highway super's criteria, and town meeting would have to officially accept the road. So that would be the process regarding that. Outside of that, we have minutes for acceptance. The minutes of May 16th, 2017.
Make a motion to accept May 16th, 2017, the meeting, the minutes. Yes, thank you.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. At this point, we'll have a short song and dance routine from our town administrator.
Yeah, right. I don't think so.
We'll wait till next meeting.
I don't have my dance shoes on.
That'll give you some time to practice and get your costume ready. There's recitals next week, so it should be able to-
Yeah, right. The only thing we have left after that is an executive session. Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21, Paragraph 3, to conduct collective bargaining negotiations, and the only reason we will come out of executive session is to adjourn the meeting.
Alright, so. Vote to go into executive session.
Roll call vote.
Sexton, aye.
Bale, aye.